All right, what's going on, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We are going to be taking a look at two stocks, okay? The first one we're going to take a look at is going to be Nndm, Nano Dimension, and the second one is going to be DDD 3D Systems Inc., okay? So we'll go ahead and look at Nndm first. And with that being said, please let me know in the comment section below if you have a stock or a crypto you would like me to analyze. Okay, I make videos daily, and I try to, make plenty of requests on stocks or projects that people want me to look at. Okay, so first thing first, we're going to look at some of the studies that I have. Okay, now I have a video in the top right hand corner of this that will show you how to set your screen up the way that mine is right now. Okay, with all of these different studies, and to get these lines on your chart as well. All right. But essentially what we're looking at, okay, is going to be the Bollinger Bands, these three, and the VWAP is this purple line, and then the green line is the 180-day simple moving average. All right. First thing I want to do is pull up the weekly chart for you guys so you can get a much better grasp of the, just kind of like the trend for this thing, right? So the major support levels that we have are going to be right over here, right? Which you can see we found support, we found some resistance right here. This first one at 332, and that's from these areas in the past. Okay, we topped out 1, 2, 3, and then we found support there 4 times on the weekly chart in the past. All right, so this level has not been retested ever since November of 2020, basically, I believe. Yeah, or maybe that's even 2019, I'm not sure. So anyways, I think it's 2020 though. But that level hasn't been retested. We're just now retesting it. Okay, and then the next major one below that is going to be right at 134. So I expect us to find some support through basically February and March in this area somewhere. Okay, this is where I'm expecting this stock to end, like in February or March, somewhere in this range, right, in between 332 and $1.34. Now it's a pretty big range, but the reason for that is because currently small caps have been bleeding extremely hard. Okay, many of them are down 60, 70, 80%, right? Well over 50% from their all-time highs. And the reason for this is because last year we had the exact opposite market that we're in right now. Last year we had euphoric market, right? So people are pushing the prices higher no matter what the valuation is, right? And if the valuation doesn't line up to the price, then they justify it in another means, and there's a new price target, and everything just goes higher, and all people want to do is buy in because they're missing out on these really good companies. But what's happened is now there's inflation fears, there is interest rate hike fears, there's all these things that's going to hurt the economy, that has hedge funds and big institutions preparing for it. They're pricing all of these factors in for March whenever they raise interest rates. All of that is being priced in right now. So the major indexes are down as a result of this. So of course small caps are going to be down, right? Because they have a less of a market cap. So a sell-off in a small cap is going to affect it much more than a sell-off in Apple, right? If someone sells $1 million worth of shares in Apple, it's $1 trillion company. So it's not going to hurt it that much. But if it's a small cap and it's below like a certain amount, if someone comes in and makes a $10 million play or something like that, it can really affect the prices, right? Which is why a lot of times you see these go to such extreme prices. Okay, now I mean, let's take a look here at what it's at. Okay, from its highs all the way down to here, it's 85%. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, a lot of these things got beat down over 80% even. So this isn't financial advice, but I personally, if you have a retirement account, if you have a long-term share account, right, now is a very, very good opportunity to start a position. Okay, not to go all in, but if you have $1,000 or if you have a $10,000, start investing lightly for the long term, right? Because we're anticipating much more pain in February and March, right? So and we might be able to recover after that. Small caps may recover before then, but overall, general market sentiment is, February is always historically a bad month for the stock market in general. And we could see that fall off into, some of these 3D printing plays. All right. So, you know, be patient on it. Now is a great time to start, a position. I personally don't have any shares, but I have been playing a lot of options on this. I really do like the company, but after last year, once I saw how high things were, I wasn't really sure if things were gonna climb all the way back up, or if they were gonna come back down to more reasonable levels. Okay, so look, all we're doing is we climbed up past these levels and then we never retested them. So right now we're just now retesting them. um, you know, Hopefully we find support at 332, but most likely we won't. And we could come all the way down to 134. All right. Now, if you guys want more specific price targets in between these, I'm going to need you guys to comment in the comment section and, basically just bring to my attention that, there's a lot of attention on Nndm and you guys want more content from it. All right. The second one we're going to go on to is going to be DDD, which basically falls under the same category. Now DDD had a nice pattern and to me has a little bit of a better setup, right? If you look here, it sold off and then it consolidated sideways for a good little bit before, this recent sell off when everything all just started selling off in the end of 2021. But this one is nice because it had a nice pattern. Okay. So, I think I've covered it before, or maybe I just covered it only in the Discord, but definitely join the Discord, the Options Trading Tycoons Discord. The link is in the description below. You get all of my analysis. There's way more analysis and plays from me in the Discord than there is on YouTube. That's a fact. And there's also 3 admin members in there, and they also have their own analysis and their own plays. And um, you know, people are making like $10,000 a day in there. So, just join that if you want to, but I'll go ahead and break this down. All right. So, when I showed it, I said, hey, we have this pattern known as a symmetrical triangle, right? Which is, some people misunderstand it that it's a bullish pattern, right? Because they say, like, oh, well, some people just think it's a bullish pattern. This is actually just like an unbiased pattern, right? So what you're doing is you're waiting to see if we're going to have a breakout above here or a breakout below this trend line, right? And obviously we broke out below that trend line and I had all the major support levels. And I just want to zoom in a little bit and just kind of show you guys, just how valid these support levels were. Okay. So, we came down, we fell right at these support levels. We used it as resistance for the next few days, for like the next week. We came down, bounced off of this support level, came up, hit resistance again, found support, traded in between there. Then we broke that. Now this is a valid resistance line. So, you see how it goes from, okay, now it's support 1 time, 2 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, 10 times it's support, right? To now it's resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, So these are all pretty valid levels that you're going to want to pay attention to and respect. And just kind of, some of the stuff that you get by following my videos and things like that, because it's really going to help you if you're swing trading or day trading, right? If you know that, hey, this is our major support level, we may bounce here, right? Oh, hey, this is our major resistance level, we may drop here, or we may have a false breakout and go a little bit above it, but we're going to come back down to this major support level. Boom. So you can ride it up for 3 days. This is 3 days of bullishness, and then you can write it down for 3 days, you know what I mean? And just take profits along the way that meet your own profit goals, right? So I would just basically, my advice is to have these on your radar, especially if you are bullish on the 3D printing, kind of like environment and thing like that. I personally think we're going to fall down into this range around here before finding some support. Now, we may find support a little bit higher, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us head, like down to 10. Okay. We're bouncing right off of the 200 SMA on the weekly chart. And, if we don't find support there, then it's probably going to go down here to like 11, 10, something like that. All right. So, if you got $10,000, maybe buy 100 shares right now is put in $1,600 worth, right? In DDD, put some money to the side. That way you can get your feet in the game just in case we do reverse, right? And you do see some bullishness, but you're not very deep in the position and you are ready to quote unquote buy the dip, right? And you can be patient and wait for it to come back down to, come down to like $14, maybe add another $1,000, come down to 12, add another thousand, come down to 10, add another thousand, and just slowly build your position. So that way in the future, when DDD perhaps is trading, back at all-time highs, or just, some previous high levels. Now it has two gaps to fill, okay, at 27, and then one at 32. So those are some nice daily gaps to get in on. I mean, even if you bought shares here and waited a year or two, for it to fill, that's a 66% return on the first gap, and if you hold it till the second gap up, that's a 98% return on your investment. So, if you're able to come down here and get it in this little demand zone down here and ride it up to the gap fill, that's 200%, over 200% on your shares. That's kind of the play that I'm looking for right now. So I'm not going to rush into anything. I know there's a lot of fear and FUD in the market, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So, when it's times like that, it's best not to rush into a bunch of positions, but it is, they do say to buy when everyone is selling, and buy when there's fear in the market. So there's definitely fear in the market. And it isn't a bad time to start investing some long-term positions. I'm sure people were telling you guys to go invest in Apple when it was at all-time highs, or Tesla when it was at all-time highs, and people really aren't telling you to invest in it right now. I have no problem telling you to grab some Tesla shares right now, because it's down a couple $100 to $300 from its all-time highs. So, if you're a long-term investor and you are bullish on Tesla, now, it's not financial advice, but that would have to be your opinion, right? You would have to have strong conviction, that Tesla might be at like 2,000 or 5,000 or whatever in the future. So, you're buying now at these discounted rates. And here in the next 2 months, we may be able to see stuff go on clearance. Okay, so that's the analogy I'm going to use. So, DDD and NDM, these stocks were hot last year, okay, and now they're not. So they're on sale. All right. And you can start buying some stuff now because it's on sale, but save some money because there is a possibility that these things could go on clearance in February and March. Right. Now, if they don't, well, hey, you know what? You already bought the low, you already got some skin in the game while DDD was at 16, and now you can choose to invest at the prices that you like, right? If it recovers from 16 and goes up to 20, you can wait for it to come back down to 16 area, or if you're happy buying it at 20, then you can buy it at 20 and you have money to do that, right? So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you found anything useful or helpful in the video. That would really help me out a lot. All right.